Capit Tread is an easy-to-install stair renewal system designed to coordinate with your existing floors. For more information on all the features Capit Tread offers, check our promotional video on Zamma.com. If you're ready to install the Capit Tread stair renewal system, you'll need a few basic tools for the job. To remove existing carpet on stairs, you'll need a scraper, a hammer, pliers, and a vacuum. To install Capit Tread, you'll need a sliding compound miter saw and a table saw, both with carbide-tipped blades. You'll also need construction adhesive such as heavy-duty liquid nails, a tape measure, T-bevel or angle gauge, gloves, a speed square, brad nails and a nailer, a rubber mallet, safety glasses, coordinating or stainable putty, and caulk. You'll also need to purchase the right type of product for your particular stairs. Capit Tread comes in two basic sizes, and you'll need to check the thickness of the tread or flat portion of your stairs to determine which one you need to use. If it measures 1 inch or less, you'll use standard Capit Tread. If the thickness is 1 1/8 to 1 3/4 inches, you'll use Type 2 Capit Tread. There are several common terms that will be used in this video. The tread is the flat portion of the stairs on which you step. The nosing is the rounded edge on the tread. The return refers to the side portion of the step. The riser is the vertical part between the steps. You'll first need to remove any existing carpet, pad, tack strips, and staples from your staircase. Make sure you also remove any staples from under the nosing. Once the surface is clean and free from debris, you're ready to begin. Capit Tread must be installed on the stairs from the bottom up, alternating between riser and tread, starting with the riser on the lowest step. Risers are available in either white or coordinating colors. To get started, you'll first need to measure the height and width of your existing riser. Use the compound miter saw to cut down the width of your riser. If you have to adjust the height, you'll need to rip the entire length with the table saw. Once the riser has been properly cut, install it by using heavy-duty liquid nails or another urethane construction adhesive on the back. Apply a bead all the way around the perimeter and then make a zigzag pattern across the middle. Once the first riser has been installed, you'll need to proceed to the tread for the first step. Carefully measure the width and depth of the step. Since many stairs are not square, you should use a T-bevel or angle gauge on both sides of the stair to help you cut each angle correctly. Remember to measure and mark each tread separately because dimensions between steps may vary. With a sliding compound miter saw, cut the Capit Tread to the proper width. For the depth, make sure you measure from the inside of the nosing when transferring your markings to the Capit Tread. Then, take a table saw and rip it along the entire length of the product. Check to see if everything fits correctly by dry fitting it onto the stairs. If you're satisfied that the tread fits properly, install it by applying a heavy-duty construction adhesive on the back. Go around the perimeter, then zigzag across the middle. Now fit Capit Tread onto the old step. To keep the tread in place while you continue working on the stairs, insert 3 to 4 brad nails along the very back. These will be hidden by the next riser you install so that you don't end up with any exposed nail holes. Continue alternating risers and treads until you reach a landing or the top stair. Here you'll need to transition to the existing floor. There are a couple of different options depending upon the type of flooring you have. For this particular installation, the homeowner wanted to keep their existing nosing in place. Once you've finished installing Capit Tread, caulk around the seams and allow everything to dry sufficiently. If there is no bull nose on the top step, you can install a piece of Zamma coordinating stair nose molding to make the transition. The stair nose fits into a metal track which is perforated and can be snapped off at the correct length. It will be installed 3/4 of an inch from the flooring. Use a couple of small pieces of stair nose on either end and mark the position for the metal track. Install it using the screws provided. Now take a piece of stair nose cut to the appropriate length and place it onto the track. Use a rubber mallet to secure it in place. If the top stair has an existing nosing, you should use Capitread and T-molding or a multi-purpose reducer to make the transition. We do not recommend cutting off the existing nosing to install a stair nose. Take a piece of Capitread and cut it to a depth of at least 4 inches, but no greater than that of the flooring planks with which you're coordinating. Dry fit the Capitread and the T-molding to make sure it will cover the gap between the Capitread and flooring. If your floors are different heights, you'll need to use a reducer. After adding the heavy-duty adhesive to the back, install the tread and use a few brad nails along the back edge to keep it secure. These will be hidden by the T-molding. Now snap off the appropriate length of metal track and install it with the screws provided. Then position the T-mold over the track and snap it into place with a rubber mallet. Staircases may have spindles attached to some or all of the existing treads. Consult a professional finish carpenter in order to remove and reinstall these prior to installing Capitread. Never cut around existing spindles to install Capitread. Once you've finished your installation, any spindles you removed should be replaced. Stairs that are open on one side will need to be finished on any exposed ends. For this, Capitread makes a half-round return and a pre-mitered tread. As you face the stairs, if the open end is on the right, you'll need a right return stair tread. If it's on the left, you'll need a left return tread. To get started, you'll first need to cut off any existing side profile nosing on your steps. Be sure to cut off the curved portion only, not any more. Now, measure and cut for the first riser as you did before. But before installing, make a 45-degree miter cut on the outside edge. Take the scrap piece of riser and cut a 45-degree angle in the opposite direction. You'll use this facing piece to finish off the side. Glue it on and let it dry before installing the riser. When you're ready, apply the heavy-duty adhesive to the back of the riser and install it into place. Take careful measurements of the width and depth of the tread, using a T-bevel or angle gauge for accuracy. To shorten the width of the Capitread, use the compound miter saw to cut it on the side without the pre-mitered edge. Apply adhesive to the back of the tread, first around the outside, and then make a zigzag pattern down the middle. Install the Capitread and secure it with 3 to 4 brad nails along the back edge. Next, you'll need to miter the half-round return to finish off the side. Since most homes are not square, you'll need to use the T-bevel or angle gauge to get the correct angle. Dry fit the return to see what length you need to cut. If your tread has a backside, you'll need to miter that corner and cut another finished piece for it as well. Glue the two pieces together at the 45-degree angle and let them dry. Now attach them to the ends with adhesive and a couple of brad nails. Use coordinating putty to fill the nail holes. Continue this pattern all the way up the stairs. If you have a staircase that's open-ended on both sides, we don't recommend Capitread for these types of stairs. Bottom stairs will sometimes have dog ears, where portions of the tread are flush with the front plane of the staircase. These can require difficult notching to install the treads, so you may want to consult a finish carpenter for this step. If you have a landing that turns a corner, there may be an exposed area under the far side of the next step in the standard installation. To finish this off, measure the amount of the gap and cut a piece to fill from a leftover section of Capitread. Apply some glue to the back and place it behind the nosing. You may need to use clamps or a brace to hold it in place until it dries. Some staircases may have molding that overhangs one or both sides of the steps. If it occurs on one side, you can still install Capitread without making any modifications. However, if it occurs on both sides, one of them will need to be ripped off with an appropriate saw prior to installation. Be sure to save the piece so it can be reinstalled once the project is complete. You will need to reattach it with brad nails and glue, and then caulk the seams. Some repainting and sanding may be required. If your steps are over 8 1/4 inches high, the standard capot tread riser will not be tall enough to cover the existing riser. There are a couple of options. For coordinating risers, rip the nosing off a piece of capot tread and cut the remaining piece to the appropriate size. For white risers, you can also use a piece of 12 by 48 or 12 by 96 inch white melamine as a riser. Just measure, cut, and attach it as before.